Hello and welcome, Tom Crane. Hello.
Hi, Josh. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you? That's the more important question.
I have an ill child who eventually got to sleep at 5 a.m.
Yeah, maybe it's not that interesting. Yeah, so
I'm so used to not sleeping, Josh. It's fine. That's been my life. As you know, for the last 7 years, it's par for the course. So I'm fine.
Okay, good. We've got so many good emails. We're doing another episode of these. Thank you for them all coming in. People know a lot of minor things about things people didn't think we cared about, but turns out we care deeply about these things. But first, Tom.
Yes.
There is a message from someone on Spotify who said you should rename the show Josh Wikipedia. We're not going to do that. I can tell you now. However, big news from me and Michael.
Because we've had the artwork done. The artwork's been made. We've paid for that.
Exactly. I've got someone to do it for me in the spirit of Wikipedia. But there is big news from the naming world, Tom.
Oh, exciting.
So it turns out, much to our chagrin, disappointment, or excitement, depending on whether we want to visit it, in America, on the coast of America, there is a museum of popular culture, Tom.
Wow. Okay, this is big. Right. My first question is, where does that leave us legally?
We're changing our name, Tom.
Is it actually happening?
It's actually happening, yeah.
Okay, right. Wow.
Excited?
I am. So they're quite a powerful force. Did they get in contact in that case?
Well, they are a powerful force in the sense that they own the copyright, so they've got every right to keep the name.
But apart from the fact they're completely legally protected and have every right to be annoyed, what issue have they got?
Well, they don't have every right to be annoyed. It was an honest mistake.
So it's now the podcast formerly known as the Museum of Pop Culture. Is that what it is?
So we're going to change it over the coming week or two.
Oh, this is so exciting.
We're going to have to re-record things. We're going to change the artwork. It's not going to be called it's going to be a minor change, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Imagine if it was just called Museums of Pop Culture.
Or the grammar was on, which is Museum of Pop's Culture.
Yeah, Museum of Pop's Culture.
This is genuinely exciting. This must be what, when like the wall fell in East Berlin and everything changes.
Was David Hasselhoff there or not? That's one for our viewers. But we thought in honour of that, here's a little montage of great name changes.
Snickers, how you say, Snickers bar.
Cafe. There's one down the road. Now, you go out here, you take a right and...
In the spirit of international understanding, Marathon has changed its name to Snickers. It's still packed with peanuts and still covered with the smoothest milk chocolate. But now, for Marathon, say Snickers.
Excusez-moi, have you got the Snickers?
No, love. Just the way I walk.
Snickers. All that's changed is the name.
Et vous pouvez vous taire, hein?
To appeal to the silent majority, Opal Fruits is changing. Not its taste, just its name to Mute Fruit. How about Silent Sucks? Starburst. Now we're talking. Opal Fruits is now Starburst. Splendid.
So there we go. Sif to Jif. No, the other way around. Jif to Sif, of course.
Yeah.
Opal Fruits to Starburst.
That's a big one. That's a huge one.
Yeah, that is a big one.
That was like a big one because obviously as a child, Sif to Jif sort of affected me less.
Well, in fact, it was the other way. It was the other way. It was the other way.
Well, there you go. That's how little it affected me. But I wasn't spending any of my pocket money on Sif or Jif, whichever it was called.
No.
But Starburst and Opal Fruits, that was a big one. That really,
Yeah, exactly.
that changed where my money was going. Yeah. What other ones are there?
Marathon to Snickers. You've just heard, Tom. Don't pretend that you don't listen to the montages. you pretending we don't play in the montages.
I need to make it clear in my defence that you said, here's a montage. And in the reality of us recording this, no montage was played to me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's added in post, as they say.
Add us to the name change. Thank you so much for sticking with it. To be honest, we're confident most people are just searching the words Widdicombe, Josh, or pop culture anyway, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
So I'm not allowed to know what the new name is yet.
The new name is, Michael, would you like to tell Tom what the new name is?
I think, because this is going out tomorrow and we're still waiting on the final legal stuff, let's not announce the brand new name, just to be safe.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, that's exciting. That's do you know what, Michael, you think don't include that. That actually makes the whole thing more exciting.
What a first few minutes for me. I'm not allowed to hear the montage and I'm not allowed to know the new name. I've never felt more locked out of a friendship group.
You're a valued member. You're a valued member.
Kid at sixth form, yeah, exactly.
Ordinarily, I wouldn't mind, but that museum is is founded by Paul Allen, who is one of the co-founders of Microsoft. So he's got some deep pockets.
Oh, wow.
We would lose a David and Goliath battle there.
Yeah. You got to back yourself, Michael.
Well, I think the reason we particularly lose it isn't that he's got deep pockets, it's that we are in the wrong.
So you've got a combination of shallow pockets and not having a leg to stand on.
Yeah.
Not an ideal
absolutely
combo.
toxic combination of zero defense. Not because we've done anything illegal, but just we haven't done due diligence, I suppose.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's fair enough, isn't it? Life's
That's
busy.
fair enough. Yeah.
Can't be
Talking
checking
of not
everything.
doing due diligence,
Yes.
Corrections Corner.
You're wrong, and you're a grotesquely ugly freak.
Which we don't get as many of these as you think, because we're pretty good on our facts. We just don't know what museums exist in Seattle. That's just the fact of the matter.
Yeah.
Also, I'm quite excited because if I ever go to Seattle, I would love to go to that museum. It sounds brilliant, although it would be quite American, wouldn't it?
I've been to that museum. I don't know whether I told you that, Josh.
What?
I've actually been to that museum, but it wasn't called the Museum of Pop Culture at the time. It used to be called the Experience Music Project. And I went to it probably 20 years ago this month, in fact. And it was just a lot of Nirvana, Hendrix, and music stuff.
okay.
And I think subsequently it's kind of evolved into a wider pop culture thing.
Please tell me you're renaming the podcast the Experience Music Project. And you're now stumbling into yet again another legal minefield.
Hi, great podcast. But the tiniest amount of actual research, that's a big attack from Matthew, will tell you Sir Clive Sinclair didn't invent the pocket calculator.
What? No.
Sanyo, Texas Instruments, and others all got there first, though Sinclair's was thinner.
Okay.
I say that counts as inventing it.
So he invented the thinnest pocket calculator.
There's lots of claims that he did invent it. I'm
size
saying
zero
they
pocket
must be wrong.
calculator.
I haven't made that up based on nothing.
So he designed a calculator for the skinny jean market. That's basically it.
Or, well, I suppose the thing is it depends what you define as a pocket calculator. You know, jeans were quite tight in the 70s.
Yes. That's a very good point. Also, pocket calculators weren't really that pocket size, were they? My memory from school.
So you're saying no one's designed them?
Yeah, exactly. I'd say people would maybe invented a slightly smaller calculator, but no, people have yet to invent the pocket calculator. That's what I'm saying.
So Matthew, who has a real chip on his shoulder about Sir Clive, and fair enough. Sanyo, Texas Instruments, and others all got there first, though Sinclair's was thinner. The reason so many companies produced pocket calculators after 1971 was because the chip to do that, the Mostec MK6010, or as it was sold, the calculator on a chip, became available that year, and Sinclair was one of many. A year later, he produced the first scientific calculator, and it was almost unusable. I know because I had one. In short, Sinclair didn't invent the pocket calculator. In fact, he wasn't first with anything except his silly apology of a car. All the best, Matthew. I'd love to know why Matthew hates Sir Clive Sinclair so much.
Was Matthew part of the team that did actually invent the pocket calculator? Is this what this is?
I know it feels like Matthew's been wronged by Sir Clive Sinclair.
He worked for Sanyo or whoever it was.
Yeah. But I stand by, maybe we were wrong on that, but Sir Clive Sinclair is a great man.
Yeah.
As are all of the people we talk about. They're great people. And I have full respect for Sir Clive Sinclair. But on that, I admit, he didn't invent the first one. He was just one of many.
Okay.
One
He
of many.
perfected. He
perfected. He thinned it. Now, we come to one of our favourite people, David Hasselhoff. Tom.
Yes.
This is incredible on the Hasselhoff episode. Dear Josh, we are South African, and my husband met David Hasselhoff on one of his many tours where he had Kit, the Knight Rider car, on display. My husband was around 4 years old at a shopping centre near Durban in South Africa with his two older siblings. And they were near the front, and he was trying to see the car up on the podium. David Hasselhoff noticed him and plucked him out of the crowd, pulled him onto stage with him.
Brilliant.
This must be around 1982 or 1983, a legendary family story. Keep making these shows. They're interesting and entertaining. All the best, Donna in South Africa.
That's fantastic. What a great claim to fame. Are we assuming from that he was placed in the car as well? He got to sit in the car, surely.
So.
Yeah. Not just sort of, you get to stand briefly by the car. Surely he must be placed on, yeah.
And it does seem to me, I wouldn't want to, offer too many views on this, but Hasselhoff was much like Queen, someone who's more than willing to play apartheid South Africa. This is a nice fact about the fall of the Berlin Wall I didn't know from that episode, from Philip Mail. One of the border guards there that night, scared as orders from above weren't coming and people surrounded them, his beloved USR collapsing around him was, can you name it?
One of the border guards on the wall.
Yeah, for the Soviet side.
Well, it can't have been Putin, can it?
It was young Vladimir Putin, whose entire career to despot since has been swayed by that evening, yes.
That's incredible. What a great fact that is. That's incredible.
Or a terrible fact, Tom. Depends on your viewpoint.
Yeah.
What a great fact about a great man.
You always hear so often we hear the bad side, don't we, of Putin?
Exactly. But he was part of the people that brought down the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, that's remarkable.
One more Hasselhoff thing. This is from Danielle. My story is that I had a Knight Rider annual as a girl in primary school. We all had mini crushes on the Hoff, so I cut pictures of him from the annual and sold them at school for 10p a piece.
Brilliant.
Great young entrepreneur.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stephen Bartlett would like you on his podcast with that kind of anecdote.
I ran a championship manager business when I was about 14 at school, and people would pay me £1 a week, or it wasn't that much, probably 20p a week, to be part of the game. And then I would go and play the game and print out their results. And I'd bring in printouts until my dad, after about a month, said, this is just costing us so much money in printing ink. You have to close the business down.
The money here is... And your dad ran a printers.
Yeah, this is very true. But also, just running a football club is expensive. How many football clubs actually make money?
Well, this is the question for Danielle as well. How many pictures of David Hasselhoff does she sell before it covers the cost of her annual?
Is she also laminating those pictures? Because are you literally just been given a bit of sort of flimsy paper that's been... Yeah, I assume that is what's happening, isn't it? To be stuck on your wall or whatever.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Is it worth the hassle?
Well, there we go. But, she's probably got her annual for free, but you are ruining your annual.
Yeah.
That's enough, Hoff, Crane. That's enough on David Hasselhoff. We've got some topic suggestions from listeners.
Yes.
Let me know whether you like these, Tom.
Yeah.
Hi, Josh. Love the recent series on Sir Clive Sinclair and his adventures. They've said Clive Sinclair, but I've given him his full name. It'd be fantastic to hear your take on the home games console war of the 80s and 90s, the battle between Nintendo and Sega. Fantastic.
In fact, I think I actually texted you that idea a little while back, not to steal the thunder. I'm not claiming that...
Of Terry G.
Exactly. In a way, Terry G is the Sir Clive Sinclair in this situation where I actually suggested the idea.
Yeah, of course.
And he's now trying to claim it for himself at a later date. No, it's a great idea because it's fascinating. Also, there's so many of those tussles. PlayStation, N64, the earlier one. It's just every stage. And also things like the fact that Sega is no longer a huge entity, but for a while it sort of ruled the roost. It's remarkable how these things have folded and crashed. And I'd love to do that.
Well, we'll put that on the list, Terry G. How about this for another one? Just wondering if you thought about a series on the harem panted wearing rap superstar MC Hammer.
Right, great.
You probably have. I love that Jack assumes we have. But if not, I think it's got some serious twists and turns that could be interesting to explore. Also, a discussion as to what he would consider a pocket calculator would be fascinating.
A home computer would be fine for him, wouldn't it?
Of course. We'll look into it.
Is that basically the only thing people know about MC Hammer is he had massive trousers? That's all I know about him.
It won't be
really.
After our series on him. I'd certainly love to hear a Crane, Crosby or Ruffle-assisted take on the tale. Keep up the good work, Jack.
That's a great idea. Love that.
But I think you prefer the first one, don't you, Tom?
That's hugely up my street, yeah. I also, as you know, I had a weird childhood, didn't have a TV till I was 14. So having a Game Boy, the Game Boy was the first thing I ever got, and that was when I was about 12 or 13. That was the first screen we had in a house. So it's like a massive thing for me, this early computer. Huge. It's like the first time I could actually stare at something that wasn't a book or trees or whatever. And so, it's very, very important to me, those early teenage years of computer games and stuff like that. I'd be fascinated to know about that.
Well, thank you for your suggestions. We've also got another one. I'd be interested in this one. As an 80s or 90s kid, I was thinking you could do an episode about cereal box toys or playground socks / collectible toys.
Great.
For me, it was all about mini Boglins, Monster in Your Pocket, Pogs, Tazos, weird Jurassic Park hologram things, Casper stickers. My husband had garbage pail kid cards. Eating cereal just isn't as fun anymore. Don't know if there's a deep dive to be had on this topic, but I still treasure my collection. All the best, Sophie.
Was the toy in the cereal box, or did you have to send away for the toy?
No, it was. It would be in the cereal. It would be in the cereal, I think. Okay. In the actual cereal bag, in like a plastic bag of itself, I think.
The one that sticks with me are these little holograms around Euros 96.
Yeah.
Of footballers where you'd move them and it would be Stuart Pearce sort of clearing a ball or what it happens to be.
And I remember having cornflake, the reflectors you'd put on the wheels of your bike. Do people still put those on the wheels of their bike?
Weren't they called Spokey Dokes? Is that right?
No, Spokey Dokes are the ones that would go up and down as you went. So they kind of make a sound.
Noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel like you're on a motorbike, yeah.
The reflector was shaped like the cornflake chicken. As if that was an exciting...
It was a simpler time, wasn't it, Josh?
I know. I imagine if you want to see one of those now, Crane, if you went to Seattle, there's one of them sitting in an excellent museum that I'd love to go to.
I would gladly look at it. That's such a great shout. It's a pity that's gone away, isn't it? There's probably some kind of health and safety thing. There's a panic about kids choking on them, filling up their bowl with cereal, and in the middle of it's a little, monster munch.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Woke Britain has destroyed.
Exactly. Yeah. Yet another example.
Just another example of the absolute political correctness ruining people's fun. Because apparently it's illegal to have fun these days.
Actually, to enjoy your childhood.
To enjoy your childhood is illegal these days because you might offend someone or choke to death.
Absolutely. That's the sort of thing I can completely see you starting a collection of now. If you said to me, I'm collecting all the Kellogg's toys from the 90s, take it as cold, hard facts. It's absolutely the sort of thing you do.
I don't know what that says about me, but I don't like it.
I can see you coming in to the last leg and telling me you just spent 40 quid on a tiny Monster Munch character or what it happens to be. So one of these classical insert cereal brands. Is it?
If you want to get involved with choosing, obviously we're going to take these on board, but we're going to have votes and the audience helping to choose on the fan club. If you want to join the fan club, click on the link in the show notes. That's the bit with the description. I would give out the address, but we're going to have to change it because it contains a certain word, Crane. Museum.
Ooh. Okay.
Not a bad word.
Yes.
Yeah. We didn't realise it contained
the C-bomb.
Click on the link in the show notes. Also, you can listen to all the bonus episodes. You get all of the series the moment they come out. Why don't let's treat you with a little clip of last night's, 2 nights ago, bonus episode live stream in which me and Matthew Crosby went through our favourite children's TV shows to decide which was the greatest. Today I've brought my 6 favourite children's TV shows, not just to you, Matthew, but to our patrons who are here, and we will decide which one makes the cut. Would you like an early guess at what they are, Matthew, or do you not want to?
Let's not ruin it. Yeah, I should really have made a list, but we ran out of time last time to go through my list, so I thought it wasn't worth it.
So you were actually quite bitter about that.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
So angry.
You told me we'd do 5 minutes of yours, then 55 minutes of me going through my list. Felt very unbalanced. It was quite the other way around. So I've got some immediate thoughts in my head, but let's not queer it this way.
We would love your suggestions also if anyone's got any immediate thoughts or they don't need to be immediate, because I'm sure we'll do this again and we'd love to anoint some other shows into it. But I suppose, should we just get on with it?
Let's get on with it.
Should we discuss my first nomination?
Oh, here we go.
This is an art attack. This is an art attack. This is Art Attack.
So what we're going with here, Matthew, is Art Attack.
A fantastic show. Yeah, of course. Huge fan of Neil Buchanan. Huge fan of the idea of the scale of it was the thing that was always so exciting. You know.
So should we talk about what Art Attack was for people that don't know what Art Attack was?
Yeah.
Which would be, I mean, a terrible situation, really, because if you don't know what Art Attack is, it's going to be a long hour.
Yeah, if you haven't immediately gone, oh my god, yes, I love that show, or at least I remember that show, then yeah, you might be the wrong age demographic for this. But it was a kids' art show. It was ITV Kids Art Show where they would teach kids to do various artworks, but the centerpiece of it was Neil Buchanan would create something that you wouldn't quite know what he was doing from the ground, and it would be massive, and he'd do it out of stuff like cornflakes, and then he'd hoover bits of them up and stuff, and you wouldn't quite work out what was happening.
With food waste these days.
Oh,
but
I know. You'd have to be eating them out the Dyson afterwards, wouldn't you?
Plus, you're not going to be able to show children such sugary snacks. But apart from that,
and then it would show you a sort of an over the top shot of the whole floor. And of course, it would be a big picture he'd made out of cornflakes of Nelson Mandela. It would be something like that, something absolutely amazing that kids could get on board with.
In my memory, the things that he used were related to it. So it wouldn't have been cornflakes out of now. Well, unless he loved them.
It was the only thing keeping him sane.
In Robben Island.
Yeah. The original title was The Long Crunch to Freedom.
We were talking briefly about cereal there. One thing that springs to mind is all the competitions that used to be on the back of cereal boxes. Do you remember that? It was a big thing back in the day. Yeah. And my friend at school, his mum was something called a comper. Do you know what a comper is?
Where they're really into competitions.
Yeah, exactly. She would enter all of those, every cereal box competition. And they won cars, holidays every year. And one year when he might have been, how old would he have been? 15. They'd entered a competition for a football tournament, which resulted in him having to do a penalty shootout at QPR at half time against ex-England keeper Peter Shilton, once at Plymouth. Yeah. And he scored and he won £120,000.
Wow.
15. And this was just from his mum entering these Kellogg's competitions, just did time and time again. Yeah.
Oh my God. One of the lowest moments of TFI Friday, and obviously we'll cover TFI Friday in due course, don't worry about that, was they had a staring contest between kids to win their parents a car.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's harsh, isn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, the kid burst into tears having lost.
Well, not immediately because his eyes were so dry.
Or not with the speed he closed them. Pathetic performance.
Yeah, that's a lot, isn't it?
Hey, what a wonderful podcast series. So glad I found it. I remember seeing the Hoff in Germany during a family trip to Berlin. People still love him there even today, too right. What a way to close out the most recent set of episodes focusing on Sir Clive and all the amazing mad stuff he did. He really should be held in higher esteem in this country for what he did. Do you know what? Tell that to Matthew, who has the very opposite view. On that point, and after hearing you mention the Baron of Beef in Cambridge at the end of episode 1, I decided to grab my own on my old ZX Spectrum, take it with me down there this weekend. I thought it would be only right to grab a photo outside the pub with it. Can't wait to hear what's up next from Glenn. He's taken a photo, which we will put on our Instagram because it's superb, of his ZX Spectrum, a phone playing this podcast, and the Baron of Beef pub in Cambridge, famously made from the Cambridge Computer Wars, all in one photo. Thank you, Glenn, for that. That genuinely, I'm going to say it, is probably the only photo ever taken of a Spectrum outside the Baron of Beef.
They're not looking out the window and going, oh, not again.
Yeah, he's thinking, I bet there's loads of them queuing up here, a bit like platform 9 3/4 at King's Cross. Hi, Josh and Tom. I was recently listening to a series about Sir Clive Sinclair and was reminded of my husband's encounter with Sir Clive in 1990. Oh. So what we should get, Michael, is a jingle, which is that you've for emails where you've met one of the... we should workshop this now, Tom.
Yes.
When you've met one of the people we've talked about, a jingle around that. I haven't got anything. I can't workshop it. But
is it one jingle for everyone, or is it an individual jingle?
Yeah, I think it's one jingle for everyone.
Okay, good.
That's nice.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking.
I would suggest riffs around the name of Museum of Pop Culture, whatever, but that's about to change, and you won't tell me
Exactly,
what the
we've
new
got
name of the
nothing to work
podcast is. So it's quite hard for me to riff.
It's called a jingle based around I've met one of the people you've talked about.
Bobby, Edmund, Sinclair, the Hoff. Have you met them? Let us know. Sporty, scary, baby, posh. Ever cross their paths? Then be a hero. Let us know. Stock, Aiken, Waterman and Co. Have you ever shook their hand? Then email the show. Have you met someone from the show? If you have, then let us know. The email is in the episode description. Support the show with a fan club subscription. Yeah, Pop Watcher.
Hi, Josh and Tom. I was recently listening to your series about Sir Clive Sinclair and was reminded of my husband's encounter with Sir Clive in 1990. At the time, Sir Clive was in his early 20s and working for an accountancy software company. He was sent to Sir Clive's company to install some new software onto his personal computer. Except, oh my word, he didn't. He accidentally deleted Sir Clive's entire hard drive.
No, that's amazing.
That's the one thing you don't want to happen, isn't it?
Including proof that he is the person genuinely who invented the pocket calculator.
Yeah,
the earliest draft of that, which came before everyone else. Wiped. Wow.
Matthew, when he's listening to this, has just been punching the air at the thought of Sir Clive having his hard drive. His company had to send an emergency motorbike courier up to him and some recovery software to try and salvage it. Luckily, the hard drive was recovered and Sir Clive was free to continue his important work. Without the hard drive, who knows whether the Zyke or the X1 would ever have seen the light of day.
That's incredible. A great fact.
He might have saved Sir Clive a lot of bother.
Yeah.
Loving the podcast, Becky.
Love that. Real sliding doors moment, that, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
Have I told you that I've met Clive Sinclair a few times? Or I had met before he passed away, R.I.P.
A few times?
No, you haven't.
He used to play poker, basically, in a casino in Leicester Square on a Sunday with my friends, and he would regularly be in that tournament. And a few times I was seated on the same table as him.
Oh, wow.
And I'm in Matthew's camp. I've got a little bit of Sinclair beef.
Oh, have you?
In that there's a sort of certain etiquette with poker, not dissimilar to tennis. If you win a point off the net, you sort of have to hold your hand up to acknowledge the fact that I got lucky there. And a couple of times over the years, Clive outdrew me. He had a sort of one or two outs on the hand where he was completely dominated when we had money in the pot. And if you then draw those one or two cards, the only cards in the deck that can improve your hand, you're sort of supposed to acknowledge the fact that, like,
yeah,
I got very lucky there. I had no right to win that hand. And twice he did it to me. And he just looked at me smugly and just carried on, never acknowledged me.
Oh, Clive.
So I'm glad the C5 cost him $7 million.
And what vehicle did he arrive and leave in, out of interest? I think that's the crucial question, isn't it? Because the idea of him driving off with 200 grand's worth of cash, recently won cash in a Sinclair C5.
Did he ever get to the point where he threw in his car keys, but they said Sinclair C5 on them?
It's worth nothing.
Clive, that isn't enough.
Literally no value. That's amazing. Wow.
So, hi, Josh and team. Loving the podcast. Now, I have to admit, I didn't know who Sir Clive Sinclair was before this series. But whilst listening, I've now realised my granddad owned not one, but two Sinclair C5s.
Wow.
And used them to raise money for his charity.
Why two? So wore them as shoes?
He travelled the length of Cornwall in them and other various exertions. Thankfully, the weather was on his side, although they had to be followed by several backup vehicles to keep them safe. I can only imagine what it was like trying to get them up hills in rural Cornwall.
That's amazing. Was it to say that was for charity reasons?
For charity reasons, he'd do sponsored Sinclair C5 journeys.
Ah, okay, great. Okay.
Do you know what? I'd love to go John O'Groats to Land's End in a Sinclair C5. If anyone's got one kicking around.
But how long is that going to take? Genuinely.
Yeah, right. Maybe like...
You're putting aside the next 4 years, aren't you? Yeah.
After episode 1 came out of Clive Sinclair, I genuinely went on eBay to see how much one would be to get because I thought it'd just be a great joke if I turned up one day and won. You can get a working one for about 800 quid, basically.
No.
You have to still get it delivered. But what really amused me was...
It delivers itself. Get onto DPD and say you don't need a vehicle, mate.
Yeah. Within 2 to 3 years, we'll have it at your door. We're setting off now.
What I enjoyed was on eBay, you can see how many people have viewed a thing in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I think off the back of that episode coming out, a lot of people have done the same thing because it had about 800 views in the last 24 hours. That C5.
So it's not the time to buy a Sinclair C5. Wait until the podcast series on Sir Clive Sinclair is blown over.
I should have done some insider training.
Yeah.
Snap them all up before that episode went out and kind of controlled the market.
Imagine that. If this whole thing is that we've got 10 Sinclair C5s and we're trying to get rid of them, the whole thing's built around it. Just to finish from Alicia, Grandad is sadly no longer with us, but this is definitely a chance to look through the photo albums. Looking forward to the next series. Many thanks. Alicia, 24 years old from Cornwall. That's not that young in the grand scheme of life, but I can't imagine we've got many younger listeners than Alicia. If you are a younger listener who's a consistent listener to the podcast, I'd love to know our youngest listener. Because it does feel like, 30 would be the bottom. So thank you for listening, Alicia. She must be listening to David Hasselhoff sing as kind of historic figure. Hi, Josh. Enjoyed the Hit Factory Saw podcast. I was the chief mix engineer at Pete Waterman Limited Studios from 85 to 92.
Great.
I also worked for Saw at the Marquee Studios in 1984 and mixed You Spin Me Around by Dead or Alive with Pete Waterman overnight.
That's incredible. What a claim to fame. That's awesome.
I like your takes on Pete's anecdotes from his books. I like the way you seem to find the most unbelievable stories. Tilly Rutherford, the PWL Records label manager, called Pete's book a work of fiction. After I read Pete's book and Mike's book, I was moved to write a version of my events from within the team. You might find it interesting, read and balance what you've seen in Pete's and Mike's book. It's called PWL From the Factory Floor. It's available from my website and was published by Cherry Red Books. Best wishes, Phil. Thank you very much, Phil. If it is a balanced and truthful version, that's the last thing we're looking for, Phil.
Yeah, we want unsubstantiated.
Pete Waterman anecdotes about having 13 gin and tonics a night.
If we read something and it doesn't say citation needed after it, then we're not interested.
Yeah. No, but that does sound great, Phil, and we'll get a copy and we will catch up on what was true and what was false. We asked for old classic forgotten TV shows you've been on. There's loads of these, Tom. There's absolutely loads of these. Debbie Ollie. In the days of Rich and Judy on This Morning, recorded the Albert Dock in Liverpool, a classic.
Debbie Ollie? That's okay. Yeah.
You what?
It's just very close to Debbie Harry, isn't it? It's just yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
It just sounds very similar. I wonder how often.
Wonder if they've ever met.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wonder if it's the same person. Is this Debbie Harry writing in? Let me read it. In the days of Rich and Judy on This Morning at the Albert Dock, I appeared with my band Blondie 3 or 4 times.
I knew it.
We made a few appearances in the opening minute of the show. We would wait in a shop nearby, which had a TV on. And
what show was this? Sorry? What was this?
This morning. So do you remember This Morning when it was shot at the Albert Dock?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Would be open at the back so people could walk past.
Oh, yes.
We would wait in a shop nearby which had the TV on, and as the programme's opening started, we would make our move and walk behind the window just as Rich and Judy started speaking.
Oh, I love this.
We would have the VHS running at home, and when we got home, we would see if we had succeeded. Simple pleasures.
That's so great.
So brilliant.
Yeah,
love it.
What a brilliant way to spend your morning.
Why is she so desperate at the day? You know it's on just... And you can see when they're talking, can't you?
But maybe there was a reliable shot at the start of the show, which meant you're most likely to get
they're doing the opening of the show. Plus, I suppose the other thing is your video can only record for so long.
Yes,
and you've already got to get to the Albert Dock.
That is great. That's absolutely brilliant.
Oh wow! What did you do with those videos, Debbie?
Yeah, there's something really exciting, despite the fact that we both work in telly, of seeing film crews
so
when you're out and
exciting.
about. So I
So
walked through Liverpool
exciting.
Street Station earlier this week, and they were filming The Piano, that Channel 4 show where people play the piano and held all. And it was like I just stopped and stared at this for ages, despite the fact that that's what my job is. In a normal workday, I'd go to that and I'd be completely nonplussed about it.
Yeah,
but
if
when
you were
you see
being
a
paid,
different...
you'd be livid to be there.
Exactly. But it's not a show I'm working on. Suddenly I'm transfixed. It's just really exciting still.
Oh, if you see somewhere you know on TV as well, I can't believe that. When you're like, oh my God, I recognise that street. They're filming in Hammersmith. Of course they are.
Yeah, that's such a good point. But there is one thing I hate, which is walking down a street when there's a news film crew there. That suddenly freaks me out that I'm going to get caught in the background of the shot or going to be asked something.
Right,
For some reason, I suddenly get really tense about that. I don't know why.
Hi, Josh. Just to add to previous correspondence around appearing on TV shows when you're a kid, I didn't.
Right.
But my younger brother did. In the late 80s, he appeared in the talent section of the Wide Awake Club called Bopping in the Bathroom.
What's the Wide Awake Club? This is before
he says the Wide Awake Club was a Saturday morning's kids show made by TVAM, the weekly equivalent of Whack-A-Day. It was hosted by Timmy Mallet and a cockatiel. Do you remember Timmy Mallet, obviously?
Of course, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
My brother was selected after he sent a letter in spuriously claiming that my recently deceased granny would have loved to see him performing on TV. Absolutely.
So, just to be clear, the brother has sent in a letter to this programme claiming it would have been the granny's dream to see it. That's brilliant. I love that.
The whole family were collected at an ungodly hour and chauffeured down to the TVAM studios in Camden. My brother won the competition, which consisted of him singing and dancing along to a track by the long-forgotten 80s soulsters Reed against a cartoon backdrop of a bathroom. He spun around, in capitals, a lot. As a family, we've been coaching him for his big day, and he didn't disappoint. Amongst other things, he won a shower cap and a bath plug on a ribbon that had been sprayed gold. The plug was hanging around in our shared bedroom for years afterwards. I don't remember much else, as it was a good 37 years ago, but I do recall having breakfast in the TVAM canteen and being brought to wave goodbye at the closing credits, at which point I accidentally elbowed a girl in the side of the head. Cheers, Justin. Superb.
Not a good enough prize, by the way.
No, not good enough.
A shower cap and a golden, what was it? A golden plug?
Golden plug, yeah.
Yeah, what is that?
Hi, Josh. On a recent email, you discussed actors changing their names for equity. You asked if this ever happened in offices or other normal workplaces. Did I? It does. I've seen it happen. In the stockroom of a popular retailer in Manchester, a new lad called James started. On his first day, when he met his co-workers, someone asked him what his name was. When we told them, someone said, "No, we've already got a James."
Brilliant.
Someone asked him what he had for dinner last night. He replied, "Chicken nuggets." "Okay, you can be Nugget," they told him. When he left a few years later, his name was still Nugget.
I think that might be the best story I've ever heard.
We've already got
worst
James.
thing? Nugget. At least Nugget's got a sort of nickname quality to it. What would be the worst thing for you to eat the night before? Beef stroganoff.
Yeah. Also, because stroganoff's rubbish.
Yeah. Let me introduce you to the other your colleagues. This is spaghetti carbonara. Here's lamb shank. Yeah, love that. What a great story. That's brilliant.
We've got so much, and thank you so much. We haven't even covered worst film you've been in a full cinema for, or best film you've been in an empty cinema for. Two great ones.
We must. I want to hear about these.
In response to your question in the email episode asking whether any of us had been to see a film in a completely empty cinema, I realised I had the perfect story for you. Well, I'll be the judge of that. My very first trip to the cinema was to see the classic 1993 live-action Super Mario Brothers. It was meant to be a big, exciting family outing. My parents, me, a giant screen, and Mario and Luigi saving the day. What none of us had expected was when we walked into the cinema, there was absolutely nobody there. Not a single person. Just the three of us. To me, that was magical. I was completely glued to the screen. I thought it was the greatest film ever made. Apparently, halfway through the film, I turned to my father with a massive grin, ready to share the moment with him and see if he was enjoying it as much as I was. Instead, I found him sprawled across 4 seats, fast asleep. Oh, I'd love that. To this day, I still absolutely love that film. I don't think anyone else does, do they? Wasn't it shit, the Mario Brothers film?
I think it was terrible. However, I absolutely would love to do what the dad had done there, because one of my favourite types of nap is like a podcast or TV murmuring in the background.
Oh, yeah.
I love that when it's sort of slightly you're aware of it, but you're also in and out your dreams. I love that feeling.
I seem to remember, I can't remember the fucking exact anecdote, but my gran, who's sadly no longer with us, and my mum went to see Mrs. Brown, which was that film with Billy Connolly and Judi Dench in it, about Elizabeth I or something. And they were the only ones in the cinema. And the trailers were playing, and she just went down to the people who were running the cinema and said, "Can we just watch the bloody film?" There's only two of us here. There's no need for this.
That's so funny. I remember going to see this is how little my mum goes to the cinema. She took me to see, this is ages ago, Apollo 13. And she said to me as we were going in, if we don't like it, we'll leave during the interval.
Oh,
so that tells
word.
you how long it was since she'd been.
Yeah.
Quite nice, the idea of an interval in a film, though, because that gives you a guilt-free way to go, it's not for me, I'm leaving.
Yeah, I hated Apollo 13. Was so bored.
Did you?
We went on a school trip to see Apollo 13.
Yeah.
And I thought I just couldn't believe how boring it was.
I really liked Apollo 13, although it was the same summer we went to see The Fugitive for my friend Craig's birthday.
Exciting.
Yeah. And we all went into the reception of the cinema in Bath, and the usher said, just to check, they're all 15. And I went, no, actually, I'm 14. And they wouldn't let me in. And I sat on a chair by the popcorn stand, and everyone else at the birthday party went to watch The Fugitive. I had to wait for 2 hours for everyone to come out again. How lame is that?
Word.
I was so worried about lying. I was such a good little boy.
Oh, my God. Well, if you want to get in touch with us, let us know. We'd love to hear any of your stories around these things. It's a joy to get all these emails. It is an absolute pleasure to share them with you, Tom.
They're brilliant listeners, aren't they? It's fantastic. I love this stuff.
They are. What's the email address, Michael?
It's museum.
Oh no!
For the time being, it's museum of pop culture pod @gmail.com. But depending on when you listen to this, check the updated show notes because it might have changed.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Joy to be here. Loved it.
We're going to try and do these regularly. We don't know. We're just going to try and do as many of these as we want because we enjoy talking to our listeners. Also, me and Michael have had chats about, is it called Telegram, Michael?
Yeah, Telegram, yeah.
Setting up a Telegram group, which is basically a chat for members of the fan club, and then we'll be on that, and all these things can be chatted on that and stuff, and it'll become, I mean, we're just going with what happens, so fingers crossed you'll join us. It's a joy. We will see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.